It's time for the shop report with
Barbershop Jay.
What up, sports fans? Welcome to the Shop Report. I'm Barbershop Jay. I'll be your host for the day. Here's what's happening. Of course, we want to remind you the Shop Report is brought to you by Rocket Digital Media. It's the one-stop shop for all your digital marketing needs. You can look them up on Facebook at RDM Detroit, 1D2E Detroit, or you can slide on over to the website rocketdigital.net. That's ROCKIT digital.net. And make sure when you're there, while you're there, you tell them the BSJ sent you. And for my folk out there in TV land, if you want to leave your questions or comments during today's program, by all means, please do so. We will throw it up on the screen. And y'all know what's coming next. If you're one of them folks that wants to leave a question or comment that's indignant or ignorant in nature, won't be seen on this screen. Matter of fact, here's what you'll get.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Absolutely. With that being said, joining me on the program today is my cat from up north, Joey James, a.k.a. Double J. Tell the people what you say.
So obviously I'm an advocate for education. Of course, not just college athletics, but in general, there's going to be some new proposals. So those in the state of Michigan, be on the lookout. As it pertains to charter schools. I'll give examples of the city of Detroit. The charter schools acceptance rate into college are in the 60s and 50s. The closest public high school is at 33. So even though their percentages, remember they're people. And any lawmaker that is against the success of an education of its people is not anyone that I'm supporting. So you may see me in Lansing, the state capital here in the future. And certainly, again, I don't care who does it, right? I'm not no partisan in this case. It's just who's doing the right thing.
Yeah. That's interesting. You should bring up education because the last week's show, I was talking to the missus, the better half, Mrs. Alva, about putting together some sort of format right here on StreamYard with the number one, I want to highlight the women more and the level of intelligence that they also bring to a format, not necessarily sports, but it's just community, social, issues, situations, and things of that nature, just in general. But education in particular, and this whole concept behind a college degree. Now, I've been having this back and forth, and it's just a side note. You all, my folks out there in TV land, we appreciate y'all for joining us. Shout out to the folks out there. I'm not going to go into detail because I am putting something together, a panel of sorts to discuss the topic of education. But in particular, does a college degree signify or is the end all be all that leads directly to success? That may be a little too wordy, you know what I mean? But that's and the reason why I mentioned again to Miss Alva last week, because I've been going back and forth with a few people about college degrees. Some people are dead set on a kid or their children getting college degrees as if though that's the only avenue or path to success. So I said, well, wait a minute. I'm a college graduate, and I don't say that as to look down on anybody or whatever it is. I'm just saying that to say I'm one. And I'll be the first person to tell your children, my children, any other child that would ask me the question, like, look here, we'll get to your comments in a second. We appreciate y'all jumping in early with us here. Appreciate that. But who defines what education is? And it's
go
ahead.
Go for it.
Okay. So in other words, we've said this 1,000 times before at some point or another doing this. Education goes beyond the four walls of an institution. How many people who have been, if you do your history beyond Google, you can even do Google search. How many people in this country alone whose products and services, if you would, that we've been using since you were a kid, since your parents were kids, since their parents, Hershey, KFC, Malcolm X. If I'm not mistaken, is Elon Musk, is he a college graduate?
I think he dropped out.
Okay, well, you get what I'm trying, and I'm not knocking the college degree, the diploma per se, but this whole ideology that you can't make it in America or make it in this world unless you got that piece of paper, I disagree with that wholeheartedly.
So
if you have a kid who comes to you and says, hey, or a child says, hey, Dad, and they've graduated from high school, and for the most part, they're not like their friends. They're not dead and they're not end up in jail, that type of deal. And they say, Dad, Mom, college is not for me. Okay, so now we got to figure out what it is that and I find that you're more creative with your hands. It's not that you're not capable. You just rather do things with your hands. You're an artist and, things of that nature. Then guess what? I'm going to send you down the avenue of trade school, barber college, electrician, things of that nature. Okay. How are those paths contrary to not worthy, or that, how could they not lead you on a path to success? And who again determines or deems what success is to an individual?
Well, that's just it, is that the term of success itself is up to the individual. And so what you have to understand is, yes, I get it from a Gen X perspective and before, that at the time in that era, college degrees were not as rampant or
prominent.
They weren't nearly as prominent as they are in current day. And so what we're seeing is, even though, yes, there is what's known as a paper ceiling, there's always a delicate balance between experience and education. Mm-hmm. And with experience comes education.
And absolutely, so, that's what I'm saying. Education comes. We've been conditioned. We're Pavlovian in our thought process when it comes to this, and a lot of other things, but this in particular, to think that education means you got to go to Ohio State. No, or you got to go to whatever, pick local high school. And I'm not saying you shouldn't have at least a high school diploma, but is that all education means? That's how we define education?
Look now? Again, you can start with Bill Gates. You can go to the gentleman from Apple. Most of your billionaires are college dropouts. Yeah, they're college dropouts.
Absolutely.
The guy, look at where things were created that we're using presently. We're on Facebook. That was done while they were college students.
Hello.
So the fact of the matter is this: something that I preach in this household is that whatever you're passionate about is something I want your mind to be able to say, you know what? Because you've heard that saying. I'm trying to remember what movie it was that was it good? It wasn't Goodfellas. Was it where he grabs the kid and he goes, "It's the working man that get up every day."
I think that was Goodfellas. Where De Niro was the homemaker type of guy. It was his son hanging out with the mob guys. I think that was Goodfellas. Yeah.
And so, what you have to realize is that no matter what you do, everything makes money, and that there's $1 billion in circulation every single day. You can do a number of things that get it. What you have to ultimately be is successful, because wealth is not defined by the volume of money, but instead defined by the freedom and flexibility that you have with time, which is the only finite resource that matters at the end of the day, because none of the stuff can go with you. And so when you're making a decision like that, unfortunately, yes, you're force fed that this is the way to go. And again, I'm a product of those choices. However, I'm not saying that college doesn't have its benefits.
It does.
But at the same time,
but I'm not going to sit here and tell you that if you don't listen, you can become more educated than a person that has a master's degree. Believe me when I tell you, by reading. You all know I'm
absolutely. And here's why. What most people don't even realize, something I had to learn, is that you can take out, right? Every kid should have life insurance, but they call it life insurance for a reason. I was not financially savvy. I had no financial education, until again, from my own reading, it's called life insurance for a reason, not death insurance. You're supposed to borrow against that. So I'll give the example of Lisa Marie Presley, who just died, right? She was $4 million in debt, but she had $9 million in life insurance that was going to cover all of her debts. Plus, of course, she had the $32 million within the estate. So even though she was broke, she wasn't broke. She was far from it. So here's the thing. What you should be doing is, if you have that life insurance policy, use that to create whatever it is that you want to do. And instead, because again, you're borrowing against money that you've already paid. And so what a lot of people do, you could go to the bank and you got to have a business plan and all these other things if you want to go that route. But a lot of people today want to have the freedom and flexibility, and that doesn't typically come with a 9 to 5.
Look, you look at it like, here's what I tried to explain to this person.
But I will say this real quick. The last bit from me on this is, if you can find something and simplify it, you'll be a millionaire.
Yeah, I'm
make it easy.
If you're passionate about something, a path that would lend you down the road to not having to punch somebody else's clock, I'm all for it. Okay. At the end of the day. So I'm just saying, let me read a couple of these comments here. Everybody weighing in. Mrs. Alva, shout out to Mrs. Alva. She's weighing in. Because who run the world? We do. All right. Shout out again. My man D Runk, he said, I watched the full Purdue basketball game Sunday before the playoffs. That center Edie is unstoppable. Bracket might end with Purdue finally. Did I not say that? I said that. I mean, my gosh. Yeah. D Runk, I'm with you on that. Shout out again to that. Miss Alva weighing in again. She said a college degree is not the same as it used to be. There are plenty of jobs that do not require a degree, but a certification. Thank you. Shout out again. Some jobs you can make 6 figures with a certification. Listen, and before I get to your this is becoming an ongoing theme now. It's not even the transmission slipping no more. D Runk says again, I wished I wouldn't have went to college. Honestly, I feel like I wasted time that I could have been making money. Yeah, hello. And Miss Alva weighs in again. I do not know anyone with an education who went to Ohio State. We gotta go. Y'all rolling them in today. Let's keep going then. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like if you didn't go to an Ivy League school, the degree doesn't matter. Hello. At least to an employer. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, an employer. Listen. Once again, I'm not knocking a college education. I have one. I graduated from Ohio University, and I'm grateful for it. College has its benefits. But like I've said to my children time and time again, number one, they are people too. I'm not going to say, oh, you're going to college just for the sake of me being able to tell my friends when I'm sitting around the coffee table or whatever the case. Oh, my son's summa cum laude. No. What do you want to do? Okay, if that's the route that you're going, then here's the advice I will give to you. Treat college like grocery shopping. Take inventory. In high school, you should already establish what you maybe want to be in life. College is a gateway.
Have they though?
What I'm saying is, for instance,
this is my problem with
my middle son is an artist.
You could sign your life away, right? As you go in the military, right? You could literally go and fight and die,
right?
But you can't get a certain loan, right? You can get a student loan.
Oh, come on now! You're going down the road. Come on now. What's already understood need not be explained.
All right,
it's not to your benefit. It's to put you in debt. Look at the student loan debt right now, where it's at. And I'll mention this as well. This is one of the things we're going to discuss when we put together this symposium, so to speak, or this panel. You look at other countries, Canada. What's the country that starts with the letter D? Oh boy, it's escaped me. Germany. You pick. I guarantee you go to other countries, you can find where they have things, for instance, like universal health care. But please don't get me started. We got too much show to do. don't get me started. We'll definitely, once I put it all together, on paper, when I put my script together, so to speak, Yeah, that this sort of thing. Yeah, be ready because we coming at y'all. Be ready, Mrs. Alba. Okay, and only bring 1 6 shooter. They can't handle two. I'm just we got another comment rolling in here. Mrs. Alba weighing in again. Oh, and a D-Runk. Hold on, let's see what we got here. It is not about where you went to school. It's not even about if you went to college. It is truthfully about who you know. And you know what? And let me fish back off of that D-Runk. I'll get to you in a second. I say when you're choosing when you're 18 or 19, whatever it is, and you graduate high school. Yes, you don't know life yet because that in and of itself requires experience. And let me tell y'all this. With age comes wisdom is a false expression. With age should come wisdom. Okay? Is more apropos, more applicable, more true, if you would. Because I can guarantee you we all know some old fools. Okay. But college is such that at 18, you get out of high school, you should have some idea. I want to be an architect or whatever the case may be. Now, that may change, right? But you got some idea. Okay, well, I want to be a lawyer or whatever. Okay, fine. But you know, those avenues going to take you through college. So what you do is you start looking, you should already have some sort of foundation. Then you start looking at colleges and see what courses, because, you know, they got electives and then they got your core classes, those classes that are mandatory to go towards the meat of you getting however many required hours to get that degree. Okay. I think for an associate, I think it's what 96 credit hours total, and 70 of them or 65 of them have to be your core classes or something or another to that. I don't know if that's still the same, but that's how it was in 1845 when I was. But I took courses that were pertinent to what it is I thought I might want to do when I got out. Journalism, writing, communication 101, journalism 101. You get what I'm trying to tell you? I didn't go and take basket weaving, Twizzler making, home shopping network. I didn't take those courses. It's people that's been in college for 3 years. They hit the junior mark and have no clue what they're going to do with the rest of their life. But meanwhile, they're already in debt. What's your major? I'm undecided. And you're a junior? Seriously? If you don't get scholarships or, get a full ride or whatever it is, who's paying for that? The system is not broken. I keep telling people it was built this way. Trust and believe it was built this way. D-Rump weighing in again. I got an aunt with 2 master's degrees and she's working 911 dispatch. Degrees ain't hitting like they used to. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Mrs. Alva, laugh, LOL. My associates is nowhere even close to what my bachelor's or master's degree is. Ha ha. You get what I'm trying to say? Yeah, come on, man. I mean, at the end of the day, lastly, before we go ahead and move on with the show, I am not knocking college or the college experience. There are a lot of benefits, okay? But you waste it all if your parents, number one, are paying for it and you in your junior year and you're undecided about what you're going to do with the rest of your life. Because life comes at you fast, all right? Not to be fishbacking off nobody's commercials. But anyway, let us start the show. Our first item on the menu was not actually in the original script. Am I saying that right? I don't even want to spell it, okay? But yesterday, I'm listening to talk radio, sports talk radio, couldn't sleep. It's maybe like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't even know if it was 850 ESPN. I just know it was some AM station. And they're discussing this.
Real radio.
Yeah. They're discussing this young lady, right? And I said, wow, that's something I might want to discuss on the show. So this first item on the menu is a last minute ad. So bear with me, okay? Because we got a few things we want to get to y'all today. We're going to try to get y'all out of here in time to get you to your Build-A-Bear appointments, in your pajamas with the feet in them. And all that good stuff. Have a good night's sleep. Anywho, I asked this question. Who is Erin Matson? And for all my linguistic folk out there, it is spelled ERINMAT as in Tom, SON. Well, you want to know who she is? She is the University of North Carolina's field hockey phenom. And let me give you a little couple tidbits on this young lady, right? Here's what she done did. Not only is she the most decorated player in program history, she was named North Carolina field hockey coach after a national search at 22, mind you. Following Karen Shelton, the winningest coach in the sports history, who announced her retirement after 42 years at the helm. And again, not only is Matson the youngest at 22, she becomes the 5th head coach in the program's history and just the 2nd since the 1980s. We're talking about Pittsburgh Steelers type of run here, okay? Definitely not the Browns. She played on 4 NCAA championship squads and 5 ACC championship squads as well. A 3-time recipient of the Honda Sport Award for field hockey, becoming the 2nd player ever after Miss Karen Shelton to win that honor 3 times. So I asked this question to all my viewers out there and Double J and anybody else that might be watching today. Is Matson an outlier to Jordan in basketball, given the North Carolina pedigree? Double J? Oh, and by the way, before anybody weighs in, let me just say, by definition, outlier can be defined, as, can be described, as a person or thing differing from all other members of a particular group or set. Double J, go.
I'm going to go in a little bit different direction. I'm going to say no. And the reason why is Michael Jordan wasn't ever a head coach. And there's a reason for that. He owns a team, of course, but the same reason why Kobe said he wouldn't be a coach.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. And the rationale behind it is players that are that driven and that caliber from a work ethic standpoint often can't struggle to relate to their counterparts. We've seen that, often you're misunderstood, you almost feel like, but if you're great at something, we see this both educationally, and then additionally from an athletic vantage point. So what I want to emphasize is that she earned this role not because of those accolades. All that did was cement that she has a understanding, it is an accomplished individual while playing the sport. But being able to coach and lead is very different. And that's why oftentimes it's more associated with people who were less successful in the field.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what that brings to mind? Something Barry Sanders said. For whatever reason, I don't know if it's the general public or the sports writers or whomever it may be, they've got their mind fixated on the fact that if you were a great player, automatically that would lend itself to you being a great coach. So Barry Sanders was asked, like, are you going to go into coaching after his retirement? Or sudden, to some people, too sudden. And he was like, no. And he said, just because you were a great coach, a great player, does not guarantee being a great coach. And how many times have we, again, discussed on this P program about how some guy goes from being a coordinator and he looks over to his left, the seat is right there. It's just a slide over. But the responsibilities that come with being having your tushy have to warm that seat, oh my gosh, they're astronomical. Astronomical. D-Ronk saying, when again, we get into your comments. Let's get to some of these comments. They're rolling in. D-Ronk says, I always wonder what's the mindset of an athlete who's the GOAT at a sport in college that has no professional level. Yeah, me too. Sean Hurt, shout out to Sean Hurt.
That's from up north here, and he's
settle down, spit it out one at a time
with Willie Green.
Oh, shout out to Sean Hurt. Shout out to Sean Hurt Wayne.
Yes, sir.
It's on to the G.O., baby. Yeah, tell Willie G we said what's happening. We was always pulling for him, baby, in the Phillies. You understand what I'm saying? Sixers uniform. You got to excuse me.
Don't let them say that. They were tearing that roster down. They were comparing it against the Cleveland roster.
Okay, I don't know about all of that. I wasn't present for that. You know what I'm saying? I can't say anything about a man who's not present to defend himself. My gosh. Anywho, shout out my man Sean Hurt once again for weighing in, joining us, telling the folks at the shop reporting 786 Media, telling Willie Green and everybody on that side of town. We said, what it do? Salute. My man Doc weighing in. Shout out to Doc weighing in. Yes, sir. He said, no, just because you can play the game doesn't mean you can teach the game. Good point. Up. My man Sean Hurt weighing in again. He said, I agree. Just because you are a great player does not mean you are a good coach. Yeah, again, them
so
guys,
wait a minute. Hang on a second. I want to bring something up because we just talked about education and
So, but
experience.
explain. So okay. Hold that thought. And just the last thing Mr. Hertz, Sean Hertz said here. So then explain this young lady, Erin Matson, because she was top dog in her sport. Well, we don't know what she's gonna be yet as a coach. Okay, my bad. The jury's still out. We got to see her. She was just named the youngest in the first, and so on. Dot. But she has yet to coach a game, so we'll see. We got to give her a few minutes on the coaching side. But go ahead. What were you gonna say, Double J?
Well, look, we just brought up experience and education, and how those roads run parallel to one another.
Yep.
And now we're seeing where the idea is that they intersect.
Okay.
So,
okay, I see that one.
As everyone has stated in the comments, that just because you can do it doesn't mean you can teach it and coach it. So, what makes this scenario different in respects to coaching as a whole? Because again, most coaches were players. And we've talked at a macro level of limited coaching options occasionally.
Yeah.
And so this is something I brought up. Where does the responsibility kind of lie? How do you create a coach?
Well, I'll give my thoughts on that here in a second after I read Doc's comments. Once again, shout out to my man Doc for weighing in. Just because a player can see and react doesn't mean he'll be great or be as great at teaching others how to see and react. That's a good point too. We got one more for y'all. Doc say it doesn't. They're hoping because she plays so well, it will transition over to coaching. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. We got to give her a minute and see if all of the stuff preceding her actually carries over to the coaching side. But to your point, Double J, I'm not, you know what? I had a thought, but then I'm not really sure how to answer that. I know
this is what I mean. Like, the U.S. national team, right? To be a soccer coach,
okay,
you have to go and get your coaching license. Now, it helps that you were a player, and more recently they made some adjustments so those that are current national team players can actually go and do it, because it's quite rigorous. So there's a former teammate of mine who just recently went and got his Class A license, and he said he referred to it as an expletive, that it was tough. And
yeah,
so
okay, but so that's
the only sport that I'm aware of that
you talking about field
demands
hockey?
No, I'm talking about soccer.
Okay, gotcha.
That demands that you're not even qualified or eligible without this thing.
Okay, so then are you breaking it down now? Are you looking at it from each perspective sport and how their coaches come to be? Like in NBA,
look
Steve
at
Nash,
Juwan
for
Howard,
instance.
right? Juwan Howard was on the bench for the Miami team for almost a decade, it felt like, right? Patrick Ewing once upon a time.
Okay, but that's the thing. Are you a former player who now that you're in that role as an assistant, are you paying attention? You understand? Are you really paying attention to what's going on in the game? Are you really studying the game to really accentuate your want or your desire to be a coach? Or are you sitting over there riding on the coattails?
Look, we're not talking about graduate assistants here. We're talking about paid placements.
Okay, hold on.
Those aren't hand-me-downs.
Okay, Mr. Hurt weighing in again. He says good coaches need to know how to manage personalities and get the best out of your players. Everyone on the team has a talent. The coach must maximize everyone's talent on the team. That is a great coach. Okay, so let's stay right here. So in essence, we can say that a coach is / a teacher, right?
Of course, absolutely.
But in its true essence, what is a teacher? What makes a teacher? Somebody who puts into, or somebody who sees something in and pulls out of? And I use this as an example. Bill Walsh, for instance, Hall of Fame coach, 49ers, Joe Montana. We all know the story, right? He said that he had a system. But when he went to scout Montana, he knew immediately that he was going to scrap his system and create one around his player. Is that in the same ballpark, or am I off?
Well, I think that's what Sean's saying about being able to know the talent and then what it's going to take to
Okay.
maximize it versus trying to fit a circle into a square peg, which I think happens more times than not in the NFL. And but there's again, think about how the decisions, right? Everybody for cinematic effect can watch Draft Day, right, where they use Kevin Costner as
shout out again, Sean. I just wanted to make sure that I was, I understood where you was coming from, you know what I'm saying, in detail. I read it and I was like, okay, is he saying what I think he's saying? Yeah, okay, got you. Yeah, for sure. Doc saying, weighing in again, I'd like to say both. You have to be able to recognize the talent. On top of recognizing it, you have to be able to bring that talent to the surface. Yeah, exactly.
But what about development, right? So you use the teacher example.
But that's part of development.
Just getting someone to reach their potential with existing talent is one thing, but are you taking them to an additional level, right? That's that first grade, second grade concept. You can add, now you can subtract. You might be a great speller, but you might not be as good in science, right? Who bears that responsibility? Because why is someone great at one thing and then awful in another? You can't blame genetics for everything.
Well, I'll speak for myself in that instance. I was more writing, reading, comprehension than I was math. I could do math, but again, we'll get to some more of your comments here in a second, guys. Excuse me for bouncing around all over the place. I've always said, if a student is having trouble gathering or learning the information, at what point do you take a look at the teacher? Is that applicable here?
Does that happen enough in sports? Or only is it when Trae Young lashes out at his coach? When we know what the player's capable of?
I don't know. Hold that thought. Let's get to Doc's comment here again. Once you've mastered both of them, I say you're a great coach. Okay. But Doc, who is mastered? Then Doc saying again, that's a part of bringing the talent to the surface. See what's there and build upon that. So in other words, is he saying it's sort of like the what's the guy who makes the clay pot, the pottery or whatever?
Oh, I was thinking of that one lady.
Yeah, whoever he or she may be, they start off with a lump of clay.
Right.
But in that lump of clay, you and I, we say, oh, that's just a lump of clay. But they see a Mozart.
So you're bringing up the vision, right? But how do they know how to make that clay?
The player is the clay and the coach is the potter. Yeah, okay.
What happens when the clay isn't cooperating?
Then you take your belt off. What do you mean? That's easy. What are you talking about? You have easy right there, buddy.
Look, okay, so he goes with the respect comes from admiration or fear, right? And so to your point with
but there's two different types of respect that come along with that too, though.
Exactly. So
okay, go ahead.
She's 22 years old, and she has to command that room. As a player, she may have been capable of doing that. As a coach, she may not be.
Well, that's okay.
And it's
that's
the
a good
same
point.
Message.
Okay, but see, then let me flip it back to the NFL. Then in this instance, look at Mike Tomlin. Well, we already know the Steelers have only had this many head coaches.
But do you think Mike Tomlin takes crap?
Well, I don't. Wait a minute. Let me do one thing at a time. You already know I'm 70. I'm the 700. I mean, me and Abe Lincoln was in high school together. I'm not quick on my feet like I used to. Bing, bing, bang, boom. And see, you just made me lose my thought there. See what I'm saying? See what you did? Oh boy. Anyway, let's read a couple comments till my thoughts come back. Oh my gosh. Doc said, let's see what he said here. When the clay doesn't cooperate, you give it your all. And when you come to a standstill, you have to learn to let go and start over. Okay, that's a good point too. You can't make a grown man obey what you say. I don't know, Double J. He sound like he got a point there.
Okay, but this is where, remember, the mutual interests come into play. Okay, right. Do you want to be what is the motives at the end of the day, right? They always say everybody has an agenda.
Right,
And
but why was Mike Tomlin hired though? Because he could relate to he had half and half. He had that Steelers lore, the history and the foundation that they were built on, but he also had Steelers 2.0 in him.
How so?
Well, he could relate to the modern day player more so or better than a Bill Cowher could.
How?
Or Urban Meyer.
Whoa. Bill Cowher almost came back, remember? And now he's chosen to stay retired.
Okay, but here's what I'm saying to you. Bill Cowher is not coming out to a press conference saying, we want volunteers, not hostages.
But here's the thing.
Bill Cowher ain't that crafty, man. I'm just saying. He
didn't play at some big university and do all these great things. You know, he started, look at his, you know, he was part of that Tampa Bay Lovie Smith coaching tree.
Who was?
Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, of course. Well,
so he was a product of a very successful coaching tree.
Right. Well, you got to have a good foundation. But here's the thing then. Now, let's go back to New England. Let's go back to NFL. How many coaching guys or how many guys have fallen off the Belichick coaching tree and flopped flat on their faces? I don't know this to be exact. I don't know the exact number, but I would challenge that the Andy Reid lineage and the not lineage. The Andy Reid apples and the Bill Parcells apples have probably had more success than the Bill Belichick apples.
So wait a minute.
Is Bill Belichick a great coach?
Well, individually, yes, but there's a reason his those that have flung the coop or left the nest have not reached that level of success. I think he's intentionally leaving something out.
Oh, do tell. What? I don't know about that, man.
Here's the thing. You're in the room with the guy, right? What was really interesting, if you ever watched the two Bills, pay very close attention to how they discussed schematics. And
I gotta go back and watch it.
You have to rewatch it because what I learned from that was the aha moment for me. That was the epiphany. It was that he's not doing that with them. He had a very unique relationship.
So the teacher's not giving the student everything in case.
And that's why, remember what they say, right? You're not supposed to challenge the teacher because the teacher
tell that to
has
Bruce Lee.
some. Well,
he challenged it, man. He lost, but he challenged it, man. Every chance he could get.
But that was the thing. Because he was trying to prove he was better.
When Ip Man wasn't trying to prove nothing at all. He didn't have a point to prove. Okay, that's why I say it's not a competition, baby. You might be keeping score, but I'm not over here over this floor. Doc weighing in again, one more again, said no, Tomlin doesn't take crap, but players respect him enough to not even test him. It's about respect. He gives it, so he gets it back. And see, this is what I'm saying about Aaron. Yes, she may be 22 years old, right? We still, I'm with you. That's a strong point. We still have to see what she would look like as a coach, because that's a different hat you wear. And it's a lot of responsibilities that come with that you don't realize when you're sitting wearing the other hat, looking over at the big hat. But to the point I made about Tomlin being able to relate to today's player. She may have a way of relating to today's player that nobody, because they've only had, two coaches?
Right.
In their history. And the Steelers have had 3? The Browns haven't had what? Here, let me get my calculator.
Well, but what does that say?
I broke it.
Hang on a second. That also speaks about the governing body, about the culture that's there.
That's where?
And
Oh,
this
yeah,
case
well, yeah,
was in,
okay. Yeah, it's at Carolina. Yeah, okay, I got you.
yeah.
All right. Yeah, I mean, it's like again, it's like a I mean, we know the history. I mean, I wonder how many trophies they have collectively. They probably got a hallway like the Hall of Fame in Canton, the Pro Football Hall of Fame, that is. Yeah. But anyway, that was just a little extra tidbit. I wanted to throw that out there on you all's plate. Keep an eye on this young lady because I'm telling you, if she do what I think she's gonna do, we'd definitely be back telling her story again or having continuation of.
Yeah, we'll have
With
to
that,
keep an eye on it.
yeah, for sure. Again, and let us keep things rolling. Let's move the show. All right. Their next item, did I say dar or r? Who knows? Up on the menu is obviously, and of course, real talk, as in movies, cinema, theater, popcorn, things of that nature. And $2,500 Coca-Colas, my gosh. Tragic. Okay. Are you familiar with the movie? I don't know. Would you call them a critic site? Like Rotten Tomatoes, they
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay. This is spot. I know you're familiar with Rotten Tomatoes, but it's one called Movieweb. Movieweb ranked the top 10 or the 10 best, martial arts movies of all time. And I'm going to run through the 10 and you tell me whether or not if you agree with me or Movieweb. After we go through their 10, then we'll break it all down for the folks sitting at home on the couch. At number 10, Movieweb says Kill Bill Volume 1. Pretty good, but I don't know.
Number 1? Like best GOAT, the GOAT movie?
No. They're counting down from 10.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right. Okay. All right.
At number 9, The Protector. Coming in at number 8, Hero with Jet Li. Coming in at number 7, The Raid Redemption. It came out in 2011. That one I have yet to see. Coming in at number 6 is Police Story with my man Jackie Chan. That was 1985. Wow, and that's still a classic. Coming in at number 5 is Enter the Dragon. I got a problem with that. I think Enter the Dragon is number 1. The Shaw Brothers, Warner Brothers took it over, but the Shaw Brothers. Well, oh, okay. Nope. I got one I got to mention about the Shaw Brothers. Hold on, my bad. Bear with me, y'all. Cue the Jeopardy music. Yeah, okay. I've written down my selection. Let me continue on here. At number 4, Ong Bak, the Thai warrior. At number 3, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. At number 2, Ip Man, 2008. And The Legend of Drunken Master with Jackie Chan, they said is number 1. Double J, do you got an issue with that list? You want me to read them again?
I do, and we can pick this apart. I mean, Drunken Master, yeah. I don't know about number 1. Enter the Dragon for me should be lower.
Enter the Dragon should be number 1.
Well, I'm just saying. I would even entertain something like Bloodsport or
no. Jean-Claude. No.
Come on, let's mix it up a little bit here.
No, please stop it.
No, I'm saying near the top of the 10.
Oh,
here.
near the top, as in where? Where's the top at? 10 or 1? You're just saying that. Next, you're gonna say what? Steven Seagal? Oh man, cut me in and cut it out.
Oh, here.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Chuck Norris. I'm gonna go Chuck Norris.
Well, I mean that fight scene with him and Bruce, between him and Bruce Lee.
See,
at the Coliseum.
Now it's not so bad. All right.
That's not Enter the Dragon. That's Return of the Dragon. See?
No, I know. I'm just saying.
But
Drunken Master 2 was, should be maybe around the 7.
Jean-Claude Van Damme. Are you really saying Bloodsport? Why? Because he got the stuff sprayed in his eye and he had to fight using his other senses? Oh man, cut me in and cut it out.
I didn't say the Karate Kid.
Oh, which version? Yeah. Not Ralph Macchio's or whatever his name was. I don't even.
Oh, hell no.
Doc said they tripping. Enter the Dragon should be number 1. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, he didn't have too much loose. Okay. Yeah, Yeah, Doc weighing in again. He said Jet Li and Jason Statham's war should be up there somewhere. Absolutely. Yeah, Doc. Said Bloodsport was a great movie. So was Twin Dragons. Okay, Doc, that's it. That's it. Just time. No, you gotta go.
I told you.
Roll.
You're hating.
Man, Bloodsport was terrible.
No, oh my God.
Bloodsport was terrible.
Forget the list. Is Bloodsport good or bad? Do you agree or disagree?
Okay, we can put that. We can put a poll up right there. Yeah, we can put some kind of poll up on the Shots fan page. We might have to do that. Do you think Bloodsport was Jean-Claude Van Damme? So, okay, what you saying? It's in the top 3, top 5, top what?
Did they even say the 5 deadly venoms?
See, this is what I mean by stealing thunder.
Just don't. I'll redeem myself real quick. I had a buddy of mine that's all we used to watch.
Listen here. Number 1, I said 25 minutes ago, the Shaw Brothers, and I said, ooh, and then I wrote down 5 deadly venoms. I wrote it down there. All-time classic. Matter of fact, speaking of 5 deadly venoms, which character or animal, which one was the best to you?
No, not going there.
What you mean?
Because
you opened up the can. You did it. You did it.
Not. I'm not even entertaining that. But go ahead. Why don't you lead us off? Let's see, because I know it's going to be predictable.
Okay, so wow. Well then, wow, really? If anything, I'm unpredictable, baby. It was what? Snake, Toad, Scorpion. I think one was the lizard. I think snake, Toad, Scorpion. Dang, I can't remember. Who were they?
You had Ming Lo, Shang, the guy who basically created the Shang.
Hold on, Double J. Doc, top 5. What's top 5, Doc?
Yeah, wait a minute.
Yeah, what's top 5? Doc, did you get some of the Lucia? Stay off of that stuff.
Whoa. Is he talking about Bloodsport?
If he's talking about Bloodsport, then I know he on the Lucia.
Oh, stop it. Oh.
Yeah. Who were the 5 deadly venoms? Toad? Okay, I think somebody. Oh, yeah, he said Bloodsport. Absolutely not. Go. Doc, listen. Okay, that's fine. He said he loved that movie. Okay, I mean, I ain't saying I loved it, but I watched it. It was, it was nice. But
the styles. It was what? Centipede.
That's it. Snake, Toad, Scorpion, Lizard, Centipede, and then the 6th venom was the teacher taught him all 5 styles.
Right.
That was cool how they played my boy Toad, man. In his ears, that was his weak spot. You know, they put him in the oh man, that movie is a classic, man. I'm trying to tell you.
Well,
I'm telling you, but it's better than Bloodsport.
Well, yeah.
Let's do that poll.
But you know what? I know you mentioned the Shaws, but the other gentleman, gosh, I'm gonna do.
Doc said he had it on DVD. Watch it at least once a week when he was in college. See, this is why we talk about education. No. Put your degree back. Put it back. He weighed in again. That and the movie with my boy Show Nuff. And The Last Dragon. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Bruce Leroy. Yeah.
Bruce Leroy.
Yeah.
No, wait a minute. You're putting that in there now?
No, I'm saying Bruce. I'm saying that was
over Bloodsport. Bruce Leroy.
No, listen. Are you? I mean, are we really doing this right now?
What, are you gonna put the Warriors in there too? Can you dig it?
Oh, don't go there. Don't go there. The Warriors is an all-time classic. The Warriors is in a category by itself. Don't mess with some. Don't do that. No, we don't do that. We don't do that. No, you already said Bloodsport or 5 Deadly Venoms.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna have to be the poll question. Which one was better?
No, that's not fair. That's
Why
not
not?
fair. I don't think.
Oh, Bloodsport wouldn't win, stand a chance. Yeah,
Well,
absolutely not.
I actually watched the Last Dragon.
I know you
You know what?
did.
I don't think Megan's seen any of these. And that's how. Matter of fact, she's seen. Feel free to comment, Megan. You've seen Bloodsport.
Miss Alva, don't get on my bad side. Don't be drinking, Lucia. Me and you like
I
this.
I think I think I had to turn that one
kindergarten.
off. I'm going to be honest. I think I had to turn that one off
Okay, yeah, got you.
Yeah.
And then who'd you just say there? We said Bloodsport, 5 Deadly Venoms.
Mm-hmm.
And then you said the Karate Kid. What movie
No,
did
we
you
didn't
say?
say the Karate Kid. He said the Last Dragon.
Yeah, the Last Dragon. My bad. Oh yeah, the Last Dragon is a classic. Yeah, I'm
Drunken
not gonna
Master
say
2 was thrown in there.
who.
Drunken Master 2.
Yeah, anything Jackie Chan has been in is good. Oh, Rumble in the Bronx and the Big Brawl.
What about? Did you
Jackie
ever
Chan.
see?
Sonny Chiba?
I mean,
Yes.
No.
Oh.
But this one was more recent, like in the last decade. Wait a minute.
Guy played Bruce
Keanu
Lee
Reeves. It was Keanu Reeves, the man of Tai
man.
Chi.
Oh, please
something
no.
like that.
Yeah, just like saying Tom Cruise and Ronin. Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah. Ms. Alva Wanden again. Shout out. Okay. He may or may not be right, but can we still be besties? Okay. All right. First time I'm a victim. Anytime for that, I'm a volunteer. I'm just saying. Ain't nobody got
time for that. But wait a minute. You said you've seen a bunch of them, right? Do you remember the one where the guy grabbed him, like right there?
Wait
the
a minute
armor,
now.
the invisible armor. That was in the same time.
Oh, you're talking
period.
about the guillotine. The guillotine.
Yeah.
The flying guillotine.
Yes.
I think it was the flying guillotine. Oh, that was good too. Yeah, that was. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we going back down memory lane right here. Yeah, but I'm not sure. At the end of the day, I would not put. Ip Man would have to be. Ip Man would have to be somewhere near the top 5. Well, he is. My bad. Yeah, he's number 2. But I'm sorry. The Legend of Drunken Master was excellent, but it's not number 1. Not over Enter the Dragon. All the rest of them, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, maybe should be a little closer to 10. Ong Bak should not be number 4. That was pretty good.
What about Fists of Fury? You don't like that?
Listen, every Bruce Lee movie by itself could be rated top 5, 10, 1, 2, or 3. Every one.
Right. Okay.
The Big Boss, the Chinese Connection.
Hey, wait a minute. Speaking of Keanu Reeves, what about The Matrix? That had a lot of.
Which one? Listen. After the first Matrix, the rest of them was terrible. The first one was. It's in the class by itself.
You're putting it by itself. All right.
Yeah, it's in the class by itself. The other two, miss me with that. Terrible. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not so sure about Movieweb's top 10 list here, but they got a couple of them, right? It's just that Enter the Dragon. That was the one I was driving at. It should have been number 1. Matter of fact, they should have ranked all Bruce Lee's movies and said 1 through 10. All Bruce Lee's movies are better than the rest of them. And you got a nice few, couple hundred runners up.
Hey, put an honorable mention that one, The Legend of Ricky. Remember him?
No. Paige and Mrs. Alva, put the cup down, will you? Let's move things right along. All right, and our last item on the menu for today's program. Oh, you know what? By the way, Double J, no, it's not our last item. Well, it is, but we'll throw in some NFL here. We didn't necessarily need to do the gridiron in particular because there was a few other little short topics I wanted to get to. But you got that video? Did you put that video up?
Oh man, we didn't say Rumble in the Bronx.
I said Rumble in the Bronx and the Big Brawl, Jackie Chan. Yes, I did. You want to wait till we play the tape back?
All right.
Yeah, I did.
All right. Okay.
Come on, man. Listen, it's interesting. Anytime we get towards the hour mark, your mind take over for slipping. The transmission be out the bottom end of the car. Yeah. Do you got that video?
Oh yeah, I'll pull it up here right now.
Okay.
Hang tight.
But in the meantime, I'm calling this sports news. First up for sports news in this particular segment, Bally Sports parent company, Diamond Sports, is filing for bankruptcy. Now, who out there has an issue or problem with that? All of these smaller sports entity networks, well, the Yankees network might stay alive, but I think like most of these Dollar General stores, they getting ready to start all slamming, coming to the ground. But I wonder why. Double J, when you come back, would you please tell us why you think Big Valley Sports is filing for bankruptcy. And I guarantee you, whoever the CEO is, I didn't look that up, didn't need to, didn't want to really. I bet you they're going to come away with full severance package and pay. Meanwhile, the guys who climb up the lines and the poles and things of that nature to give you that connection, okay, I'm not going to drop no, ain't no freebies here today. They get pittance or pennies. Yeah. Valley Sports Network, the parent company, Diamond Sports, is filing for bankruptcy. So all you Ohio people, you will not get to see the Cincinnati Reds anymore. You might not even get to see MAC. Well, I don't know. You might get to see the MAC championship games or tournament games in hoop and things of that nature. But for the most part, a lot of sports networks are shutting down. And matter of fact, in addition to that, Double J and I were on the phone a few days ago when we were discussing sort of like the podcast industry, if you would. When, podcasting first came on the scene, that it was a nice little honeymoon period. And then all of a sudden, here lately, if you look at the numbers and if you're all into the numbers, and I say numbers don't necessarily tell the whole story, but they do tell a significant portion in more cases, often than not. And it's about podcast production, not production, but people, coming out with podcasts. This like 80% drop, man. You know what I mean? That sustainability is tough to do. So again, we want to shout out to the folks that follow and support us, the folks that view and keep us going and doing what we're doing, because guess what? Without you, there is no us. You all are the reason why we're able to be here however many years
you got
later.
it right.
What? What'd you say?
Oh, I was agreeing with you. What'd you say now,
okay.
Chuck?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, hell no.
Unbelievable. So again, right quick, give me your thoughts on Valley Sports filing for bankruptcy.
We've actually seen this time and time again with Comcast Sportsnet.
Yeah, I forgot about them. Oh, Doc said we in the shop every Wednesday, baby. Shout out, baby.
Yes, sir.
Wednesday, baby. All right, what'd you say, Double J?
Well, just that this has been a reoccurring theme. That unfortunately it's not sustainable.
Camera on so he can refill his Lucia. I'm believing you. Yeah.
Just like again,
Paige and Mrs. Alba.
With these, they're trying to basically add subscription packages to things that you just can't get. So that's why you look at the
is that why Amazon is doing that thing with the NFL where you can't see it unless you get? Oh, please. That's bad for business.
It's all about microtransactions, dude. It's all about microtransactions. How can I get the add-ons? How can I make more with doing as little as possible? But this is ready to rock. Here we go.
Okay, we're not. No, not yet.
Okay.
No,
all right.
take it. Yep, take it out. Yeah, whoa, slow it down there, Kimosabi. Slow it on down. Who's your NFL MVP?
Regular season?
Who's when it's all said and done, whose house will the NFL MVP award be sitting in up on the mantle?
I will say that and it will likely be Jalen Hurts.
Oh, that's not. Oh, yeah. Do tell. Oh, please. I don't think that if I remember or correctly remembering, I don't recall you remembering that you said that Jalen Hurts and the Eagles were not going to even win the NFC least.
No, that's not what I said at all. I said it was a make or break year, and that based on the schedule, that they actually were in great shape. That this would determine if you would get a significant payday. Will he be, the long-term answer? We'll see. We've seen it, with guys like Carson Wentz in the past. That unfortunately, the league is created for parity on purpose, and that's why Sharon Rodgers only has one ring.
Yeah, but is that parity manufactured, or is it pure?
Well, it's manufactured. It is entirely.
Okay, so
This is why the NBA is trying to their best to get rid of this luxury tax and that type of thing, because you know what? Teams like the Warriors say, we don't care. We only want to win.
Okay, but let me ask you this question. what that takes all the fun out of the whole deal when you already know who's going to win and who's won before the
No, it's
game has
not. If you
begun.
build, you know what? If you build something successful, it would be a shame that you can't keep it because of external factors.
Well, it depends on what market and arena that you're in.
No, look at
If you
Milwaukee.
build an NBA
It
team,
would
guys and players get old, so you got to at some point rebuild. Or in
right,
the
but that's
case of the
those
Warriors,
are
they just
all business
reload.
decisions. Those are
What?
all
That's
business
what?
decisions. That when
Okay.
you're doing the contracts and such, you can backload the deals or front load them rather instead of backload them like they do on purpose, and then you get mad because the 32-year-old who's not producing like you needed him to is taking up a quarter of the cap space. Truthfully, if you want my opinion, if I were an NFL GM, I wouldn't pay quarterbacks as much. I think they're a commodity.
Well,
And I think what San Francisco
players
did
period are
proved
commodity,
it.
regardless of the position that they play. But why would you pay quarterbacks?
Right,
And as a
but
quarterback
because you
to
know
the
what? I
market.
wonder if I had a great defense, what's been proven, look at the 2006 Bears, you could make a Super Bowl
No, no,
without
no,
a
no,
great
no, no,
quarterback.
no. Not the 2006 Bears. You mean the 1985 Bears?
Well, they won with an average quarterback.
Yeah, Jim
But
McMahon.
I'm saying 2006 with Rex.
Oh, they did get
He
there.
was
Yeah.
below average.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, not in college. It was around the time of
Oh,
Urban Meyer, I
jeez.
believe. But anyway, yeah, I'm taking Jalen Hurts too. I mean, I'd like to see this story end cap put an end cap on it with him winning that and win the Super Bowl. Because this video that we're going to play here, not right now, in a few, okay, is part of the reason why, I root for a guy like him. Not that I don't like Mahomes, but why I root for a guy like Jalen Hurts. So yeah, I'm thinking the NFL MVP. And if you all are still out there listening and watching, by all means, please weigh in. Who do you think the NFL's MVP is this year? If we move on to another subject here, and you all weigh in after the fact, we'll come back and throw it up on the screen. You know what I'm saying? Stand. Have you seen the documentary or the previews or promos for the documentary called Stand? Double J?
Are you crazy? Of course I have.
Okay. Well, the documentary for all those out there who have not or may not have been witness or bear witness or seen it yet. This documentary is in particular on my man, Mahmoud Abdul Rauf. Chris Jackson, a.k.a. back in the day at LSU with Chris Singleton and Shaquille O'Neal. But let me read you a few snippets from an article that was written about the upcoming documentary, or what some of the things that Mr. Rauf said about why this documentary was necessary and the timing. Remember now, we always talk about the timing. Timing is everything. 25 years ago, Abdul Rauf was one of the NBA's most feared shooters. This is for the youngins out there too. To put into context how good a shooter Rauf was, former NBA coach Phil Jackson, let me stop right there. Do we consider Phil Jackson to be an authority on the subject of basketball? Is he somebody's opinion that when he says something that we take it with a grain of salt, or is it highly respected? Or I mean, what are we saying about Phil?
Well, given his championship pedigree,
okay. I mean, I'm just saying because some people on this program have used Kendrick Perkins, the same guy who said the Lakers get Westbrook that they was going to win a championship. They use him as and that's my reason for saying always consider the source. But anyway, we respect Phil's opinions. Okay. Phil Jackson compared NBA all-time leading three-point shooter Steph Curry to the former in 2016. Only Curry has a .909. Only Curry at .909 has a higher free throw percentage in NBA history. And that's with a minimum of 1,150 attempts than Abdul Rauf, who sits at .905. If you want to look up Rauf's averages, obviously 19.2 per, 6.8 assists per, and scored a career high 51 points and shot an NBA best 93% from the free throw line during the 95-96 season with the Denver Nuggets. But here's what's more incredible about all of what he did, because I watched the guy, and even then, back then, did not know until I read this. He did all of this while living with Tourette syndrome. Now imagine that. Double J, would you like to let folks know? I mean, I know you're not a doctor, but you do play one on TV. I'm just saying. Would you kind of maybe briefly tell folks, just give them an idea of what Tourette syndrome is and how difficult it is to play a sport like basketball?
Well, obviously, in anything where communication is necessary, if you can't control that, if you have impulses, that's going to hinder, in many cases, especially a sport, substantially what you're doing, what are trying to do. So to be successful despite that is, he should be certainly applauded for it. And it's, again, I'm glad that we're finally talking about this.
So am I.
Because what everyone's going to learn is something that you don't typically associate with the NBA, and that was him being exiled. I would say maybe only another, maybe Stephon Marbury comes to mind a little bit.
Craig Hodges.
Yeah, there's only, it's very few and far between.
Mm-hmm.
But the reasoning for him is unfortunately, disturbing, to say the least, especially because it shows the 180 in many respects that the league has since taken, as it pertains to these issues, moving forward.
Yeah, and in particular, while Abdul Rauf's stand against the national anthem is well known, what may not be known is how it led to poverty, depression, unemployment, and divorce. This is a great story, y'all. I can't wait for the documentary to come out. I forget the date, actually. Duh, I should have had the doggone date up here with me. Not September. No. It comes out next month, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, next month. What is it, the 17th?
Hang on, I'm going to get the exact
I think
day.
It's the 17th. Anyway, if you all haven't even seen the promos for this documentary, you should. The promos had me, I was sucked in, man. I wish I could go to a movie theater and watch it, to tell you the truth. And I'm definitely recording it. You can best believe that. You got YouTube TV or Comcast over there?
No, I'm Comcast.
Oh boy, please. Oh man, I know your wires are all tangled up over there. Yeah, This documentary looks like
February 3rd, matter of fact. So we're just around the corner here.
Oh wow. Oh my goodness. Okay, on the February. Thanks. Shout out to Double J for the save.
9 p.m. on the Eastern side.
Oh man. Oh, dag nabbit. And I can't even. Anywho. Yeah. All right. Anyway. Yeah. But you all need to check that out when you get a chance. February 3rd, is it? At what time?
That's
9 p.m.
right.
Eastern time. Showtime.
Yes, sir. Showtime.
On Showtime. Yeah. You all need to check that out.
Tell you what, it'll stand and deliver. Shout out Edward James. Almost.
Yeah. Shout out. EJO baby, Miami Vice. Yeah, don't play. I know what time it is. But it'll give people, just like The Last Dance to some degree, those who, as Austin Rivers so succinctly put, highlight culture and killed the game of basketball. Those people who rely on highlights, to try to fill in, to use as filler or justify. Believe me, you all want to see this documentary, because again, we saw these guys in their heyday live and in person. I mean,
he was fun, man.
Man, he was a dead eye. You talking about range? And I mean, he shot jumpers like Reggie Lewis, for instance, that passed with the Celtics when he was at Dunbar. I'm talking about from half court. I know that's high school, Jim, but he was shooting half court. I'm talking about raising up like he was shooting an 8-foot jump shot. That's how Chris Jackson, aka Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, was on that court, baby. Steph before Steph, even though I ain't making no comparisons. Let's keep things moving, or should I say rolling right along. Super Bowl 5700 is upon us here in another week or so. First off, did you like how the AFC NFC championship games played out?
A little underwhelming.
Which one? Both?
Well, certainly, the no contest that took place with San Francisco. That was just. I actually turned that one off. I was watching UCF or USF in Tulsa or SMU. It's more entertaining.
Yeah, well, it's unfortunate, but I think the 49ers hurt themselves on that one drive. I mean, the Eagles had what, a 99 play drive, used up like 7 years on the clock. I'm just
Well, but you know, it did
and the
all of us a
49ers
favor.
defense had like 422 penalties. Unbelievable. What you doing out? What the hell is going on out here? I know that's what Kyle Shanahan wanted to say. But for the most part, the 49ers defense, I don't think the score was really indicative of how the game played out. Brock Purdy got hurt on what? I mean, no sooner he came out the tunnel. I'm just saying. Yeah, and it was a rizap. Doc weighing in again. He said the Bengals versus Chiefs game was amazing. Yeah, it was. It came down to it. And I when the Bengals, Joe Burrow throws the interception, and the Bengals defense holds, and they get the ball back with like 2 minutes left, and they're on inside the 10 or something. I'm thinking, all right, Joe gonna go down. I turns the TV off. I turn it back on. I see the Chiefs president, whoever he is. This is such a great honor. When they were giving out this, I'm like, what the heck? What happened? So I need somebody to take me through the sequence of the game ending sequence. Wasn't it overtime or something or another? Yeah, or something to that effect. That was only regulation. 3 seconds left. Okay, yeah. Take me, because I thought Joe was going to go down and win it. What happened?
Simply put, Mahomes ran out of the pocket and got a late push. They're roughing the passer.
Get out of it. Oh, wow. Oh, so he.
No, but it was a legitimate call. Then there was one other play where it was supposed to be a timeout, and they let the play go on. The guy tried. Thankfully, they showed. So he was up over here, tried running out, and then the play had already started. So then he just backed up over here, the referee. And then said, hey, we have to redo this play.
Yeah, that's when he said something about putting so many seconds back on the play clock versus the game clock. Yeah, that, you know what? Everything else in regards to sport, in the NFL especially, from where I'm sitting, has seemed to, dare I say, gotten a little bit better. But the officiating seems to get worse. The officiating doesn't seem to match the level of where the sport is now. But what they going to do about that, man? I mean, who is the NFL's version of Angel Hernandez? Exactly. All of them. Yes. Scott Pioli. I know him too. Throw him in there. The whole lot of them. Yeah, I thought the Bengals were going to actually go ahead and, do Mahomes in once again. But, I mean, it was a better game in terms of how it was played for the most part. Aside from that was uncharacteristic of Joe to throw 2 interceptions, though. I'm wondering if he got that Shawshank pie box envelope. I'm just saying. I'm just wondering. Yeah, I don't know. JB, I hope you're not on the take there, buddy. I hope you're not. And as far as that Eagles-Niners game, and Jalen Hurts in particular, I want to play you all a video. Now, before we play this is not something we're going to, do often, but this video just struck a chord with me in such a way. It left a bad taste in my mouth, okay? And I only got 5 teeth left, 3 in my mouth and 2 in my pocket. I'm just letting y'all know that. And it still left a bad taste in my mouth, okay? And this is the reason why, in large part, I want to see, it's nothing against Mahomes, but I want to see Jalen finish the deal. I want him to get all of the flowers and candy and peanuts or whatever it comes along with winning it all, and MVP and whatever else that goes along with it, because these folks did not have, I'll let you all watch the tape. But before we get to it, Double J, let me just point out, I am not the author, however you say. I am not responsible for this music or this video, who made it, the copyright sounds, all that stuff. None of that. That is not, I have nothing to do with none of that. We just planned it for the purposes of reference here for this show and why we like, I do, Jalen Hurts in particular. Double J, roll the tape. I mean, are you cueing music? No, you're not cueing it. You're not cueing it. You want me to add it? You want me to do it here? Oh my gosh.
Uh-oh.
What happened? It won't play?
No. I have it, but you
Think
didn't add it.
There it is. There.
Do you have it up now? You ready?
Yeah. Can you see it?
Well, I'm in another screen.
Oh boy.
All
Oh,
right,
come.
I'm ready. Here we go.
Okay. Yeah. Go.
Jalen Hurts can succeed on the Philadelphia Eagles.
So my takeaway on Jalen Hurts is I don't think he's a franchise quarterback.
I still believe Carson Wentz is better than Jalen Hurts.
Can he be an elite signal caller? I don't know. I would have question marks with that.
The Eagles should consider benching Jalen Hurts.
I'll never say he's going to make a Pro Bowl because I doubt he will.
Give your 3 first-round picks to Seattle, go get Russell Wilson, and go compete for championships.
The Philadelphia Eagles are going to ruin Jalen Hurts.
He just can't throw the football well enough to be a long-term solution.
It's a perfectly thrown ball by Jalen Hurts. These balls are on time, perfect rhythm, and they hit their guy in stride.
Hurts has the time, and he delivers. Perfectly thrown to A.J. Brown.
Coach, I always say hungry dogs run fast. I ain't hungry. I'm starving for this.
So when you watch Jalen Hurts, not pretty, struggles on the deep ball.
Hurts wants it all with Brown. A.J. Brown. I don't think Jalen Hurts can be your future in Philadelphia. I'd rather have Daniel Jones.
You know you're not going nowhere with Jalen.
That's when you find out the character of a man. And in tough times.
Can he take us to the championship? I don't believe he can.
The Philadelphia Eagles are going back to the Super Bowl. Attention, air traffic control. A flock of Eagles is heading to Arizona.
Give me everything you got.
I can't say that I'll smile until the job is finished.
You think Jalen
What sickens me about that, Tony, not sickens me. I'm getting ready to actually try to say 6 things at once. Let me slow it down here for a minute. Slow it on down, baby. Slow it on down. All of the people that I know and talk to when we try to discuss or debate sports, okay, think they got one up on me who are competing when they realize there ain't no competition. I'm shout out. No, I'm just kidding. They tune into most of these guys day in and day out. They swear by these guys because they get in the bag. Tony Romo was the only one who had anything worthy of saying whatever was worthy. I know it was highlights and clips and stuff put together, whatever, but he was the only one that I could pick up. Maybe I missed something that had anything to say in favor of Jalen Hurts. But here's the killer part. All these Shannon Sharps with Undisputed, Skip Bayless, who don't tune into them. I'm surprised it wasn't Greenberg and nothing, but Sam Acho, who done been on Get Up. It was a few folks that said had some stuff to say. Kind of remind me of what Steph Curry had to go through when he came out of Davidson, the scouting report, prior to the draft. But anyway, so here's what I'm saying. All these people have stuff to say. Naysay. But at what point, even when they were saying what they said, did they show you the tape on when they said he can't do X ... or X, Y, and Z? Did they ever once show? And I watched those NFL shows, the particular NFL shows, not the ones on the ESPN. You know what I'm saying? The NFL Network type shows. And I love the film breakdowns. I've never one time seen any one of them guys who said what they said show film to back up what they were saying at that moment in time about him. That's why I want him to win. This ain't got nothing to do with Andy. Mad respect to Andy. He can sit out there and hold a Denny's menu and still go to 19 playoff wins. You know what I'm saying? 15 of them by double digits. The man's got talent. He got skills. You get all that out of a Denny's menu. Excuse me.
Something I want to point out. And it has nothing to do with Jalen Hurts' talent. The road to the Super Bowl was very underwhelming for him in terms of they went against Daniel Jones, they went against Brock Purdy, or really not even
but Brock Purdy. Yeah, but Brock Purdy was balling, man. Brock Purdy was balling.
I know, but I'm saying he was hurt in the first quarter, so it wasn't really going against him.
Okay.
So if you want to pick it apart, and you got to remember, I know you pointed out Andy Reid, and he's tied, I believe, with not Vince Lombardi, but the old Cowboys coach.
Yeah. Tom Landry.
Yeah, which puts him in. I mean, that's the elite of elite. That is the best out there.
Okay. I'm not knocking none of that. But let's point out these things on both sides that are true about both the Chiefs and the Eagles. True or false? Andy Reid, despite his coaching acumen and accolades, playoffs, regular season, he's known to take some L's that have been head scratchers.
Well, sure, but he's also gotten over the hump now.
Okay. All right.
Now there was a metaphorical one that was building there in terms of some kind of rivalry between Cincinnati and remember, they've been to the last, that being Kansas City, it's been to the last five
AFC championships.
So if he had tripped up again, it would have been at this stage. So to me, I get it. Mahomes is hobbled, but he has 2 weeks, and that to me, 2 weeks in an ejection on game day, 10 minutes before the game, he's going to be ready to roll.
Yeah, but if I'm the Eagles defense, I'm watching film from when the Cincinnati Bengals beat him and when the Tampa Bay beat him.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's got to be, and I'm studying it like I'm so intent on the study. I'm talking about like no other, like Kobe when he used to be in the gym. You got to bring my food, my breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack, whatever. Bring the wife, kids. We all spend the night in this gym tonight. We all spend the night in front of the TV. Matter of fact, I'm gonna have the kids quiz me. I'm gonna have the kids. What do you see on that play? The whole family gonna get in on film study that day. That's how I'm studying that guy. If you're the Eagles, do you spy him?
If you're the Eagles, no, I wouldn't. Until he proves he can really run. Because even on that play that led to, the penalty, I mean, man, it was very obvious how, he was running.
It was tender.
50%, 40% in that range.
And isn't it also true on the Eagles side that shoulder injury Hurts suffered at this point in the season? He came back in relatively short amount of time. Do you think that it would have been miraculously to the point where he would not have, because that one deep ball that he threw to Brown, AJ Brown, he don't miss on that. He kind of really, I won't say barely missed, but it was. But
that could be timing from that time off.
That's okay. Well, yeah.
Because the distance, he wasn't like he missed it by 10 yards.
Yeah,
right.
He did get it down there.
And that was the important part. Right, that was the thing Baker couldn't do.
Oh boy, yeah, I do it myself. Yeah, I know, right? Baker couldn't do. I don't know, man. I want to see a good game. I really, really do.
We're gonna get one. Even if these guys were both 100%, and I think they're gonna be as close to it as possible. The win or the loss won't be due to injury.
Okay. From front to back on the field, from left to right on the sideline, which team is more balanced? Coaching staff, players.
I would say KC.
Oh, because you're giving Bieniemy and Reid the edge on the coaching side. But you think on the player side, on the field, you think that the Chiefs are more balanced than the Eagles?
On both sides of the ball, I'm comparing them because the defense isn't. The defense isn't necessarily overwhelming, but from the defensive side of the ball for the Eagles, they aren't either.
Whoa! You talking about Ndamukong Suh and Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, still playing at a high level?
Yeah, they're good. But is that the best defense that Kansas City's seen all year? And then as far as KC's maybe not getting enough credit, we watched what Burrow did to pretty much the entire league this year. And then in an important game, he was getting picked off left and right.
Oh, Doc weighed in again. Shout out. He said he shouldn't have touched Mahomes. He was on his way out of bounds. Yeah, I know. You know the NFL. Yeah, I'm with you too, Doc. What Philly defense is the truth. That's what I said. That's what I think we kind of underestimate
Chris
Philly's here.
Chris Jones rushing the passer, and the type of stunts that Kansas City does.
Yeah, but that Eagles offensive line, that Eagles offensive line is way better than Cincinnati's, and it's anchored by the other Kelsey. Doc said they're going to
there's
most
a lot of
guys
guys
some problem. And shout out to the Kelsey brothers, both Jason and Travis from here, right here, local Cleveland Heights High School. Shout out, understand. I don't know, man. I'm giving the edge to Philly especially on the defensive side at all three levels. Do you agree that the game is won and lost still to this day in the trenches?
Absolutely. It's a game of inches.
Okay. Oh, okay. Shout out. Okay. You're hanging out with Bone Thugs and Harmonaries. Yeah. Man, I'm trying to tell you here, man. Oh, all right. What'd you think? What's the line right now? What's the line right now in the game? Do you know?
Hang on a second. I'll tell you right now.
And we obviously know the Super Bowl is what, the 12th? So we still got 11 more days. You know, that line is gonna go up, go down, all the way around. I'm just curious to know what it's looking like right now.
-1.5 for Philly. Now here's the difference, though. Yeah, Philly is favored.
Oh, that may end up being a pick'em. Yeah, we're still too far out though.
I mean,
give me about 2 or 3 days closer to. Let's see let's take a look, see a peek. What were you gonna say?
I don't know. Most sports books now are saying 2.5 for Philly.
Really?
Boy, I'm telling you right now, if you give me 3, I'm taking Kansas City in the points.
Okay, why?
When was the last time you ever seen them get blown out? And let me ask you this. The injury that Mahomes had when he played Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl, equal?
No, this one
lesser than?
No,
or
this
greater?
That one was less than this one.
Then maybe if you believe that, then you should be 100% leaning on the Eagles. Because Ndamukong Suh was on both defenses.
Yeah.
At that point, he was not the same guy in that game. We all know it.
But he had lost a couple of his offensive linemen as well, too, though.
Well, right. And that's the thing. You know, Orlando Brown Jr. was traded from Baltimore, coincidentally. There. They did a good job of getting the right pieces. Yeah. They did what they needed to do, especially in the Honey Badger was gone. But you see the guys that they added, and that's the thing. They have a quality group. Yes, I would love to say Karlaftis, but in some of the plays, it's the other guy. It's not. I'm not saying Chris Jones specifically. It's that other guy with him that does a great job of getting in and ripping, that allows him to go around and come almost clean.
On the stunt.
With those stunt. Yeah, I'm telling you.
But here's the thing, though.
Go ahead.
The Chiefs don't run the ball well, despite having Pacheco.
No, yeah, they have.
No, they don't. They don't. And especially in that game, listen, the Chiefs ran for how many yards? For the whole large portion of that game, they ran for what?
Yeah,
7.
But hang on a second. Christian McCaffrey,
I'm just saying.
That was a one-dimensional game. I get how dominant Philly looked, but they should have been.
I'm talking about the Chiefs.
I know, but I'm saying Pacheco didn't really. I get what you're trying to say, that they're one-dimensional.
Okay, but Andy Reid played that game as if though he was down 3 scores basically the whole game.
How so?
He didn't really run the ball.
So?
He didn't really run the ball.
Hang on a second. All right.
Yeah, hang on. Yeah. And give me the rushing attempts by quarter. Because you getting ready to give me the rush attempts for the whole game.
Wait a minute. Yeah, no. Hang on. I'm getting it for you. I'm dropping out. Hang on.
Yep. Cue the Jeopardy music. Boo-dee-doo-doo, boo-dee-doo. I know I do a terrible version of it. Yeah, I can't wait for this. Hey, I'm telling you right now, if I'm right, you got to send a case of Lucia to my favorite charity in the Bahamas. I'm just saying.
All right, let's see. I'm getting it here, and
okay, all right. Yeah, let's see what you got there.
Now you're telling me he played like he was 3 scores down, and there were only 27 pass attempts.
How many rushing attempts was it by quarter?
Here we go. Let's go.
Exactamundo.
Hang on.
Exactamundo.
I'm getting there.
Yeah, okay. I mean, you know, we'll be here for another 32 weeks. I'm just saying, man. And the bottom line, listen, you better, that whole game plan, except for Mahomes' improvisation, needs to be tossed. You cannot be the Kansas City Chiefs, as decorated as Andy Reid is, and you know Eric Bieniemy is, you know, his homeboy on the sidekick or whatnot. You can't do that against the Eagles. You can't do that against the Eagles. And on top of that, well, I asked this question once you all come all the way back. Matter of fact, let me write it down here. Yeah, you can't do that against the Eagles. How do you? Hold on. Yeah, if you run the ball, are you over there baking peanut butter cookies?
Uh-oh.
Oh my. Okay. Oh, shout out! We got my man Gully here. It's all to the good. Okay, you on site?
Yeah, I'm on site, man. You know how I do.
It's all to the good. We was just actually getting ready to finish things here and wrap things up and get on out, but we got you here for a few minutes, so we'll run a couple of these things by you right quick.
All right. Oh man, you know what? I'm Central Time Zone, bro. I'm thinking I'm on time. I'm Central. I'm so sorry.
It's all good. No, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. You out there doing your one too. We talking about the Chiefs and the Eagles, man. And okay. I was just breaking down the truths and versus the falsehoods.
Okay.
Who you got in the game? First of all,
I'm going with Kansas City.
All right, do tell. Oh boy.
I'm going with Kansas City. Well, no, don't take offense though. It's not from ignorance.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah. So, we know about the. I mean, obviously, the Eagles are, I would say, of that ilk. I mean, they're definitely wizards offensively, and they're astute defensively. I think at the end, though, you also have to deal with you've got composure in this setting, and you've got a more experienced team in Kansas City. Now, that doesn't always lead to a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Think about it. Joe Cool won his first Super Bowl in his first appearance. So did Tom Brady, so on and so forth. So did Patrick Mahomes. But you know, so having the experience isn't a guarantee. But in this case, with the Chiefs, with what they're able to do, I believe that experience in the big game setting is going to tell the tale. We were concerned, I think I was at least, concerned about the absence of Tyreek Hill and how eventually the lack of that third and out, or you know what I mean, the lack of that third down presence, would expose. But that is not the case. Is it Pacheco?
Yes, Pacheco's a baller.
He feels that void, right? We just know Tyreek Hill to be that guy, and and in the absence of Tyreek Hill, we figured the Chiefs didn't have that guy. Yes, they do, and now he's younger. So what have the Chiefs lost?
Okay, and they still got Kelsey.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me throw this out here at you then. How do you stop that Eagles run game? Because if you and I asked that question in particular. I mentioned a little while earlier. I love watching those NFL shows that give you more of a play breakdown. They go into as much detail as possible about a particular play breakdown, whatever play they decide to show.
Yeah, it's the
they showed.
Yeah, go ahead.
What were you gonna say?
No. Go ahead. I want to hear this. I'm sorry.
They showed the Eagles against the 49ers, but what the Eagles RPO game and the way they run it, what it was doing to the linebackers. The linebackers had to freeze frame for too many clicks. It was like they were reacting a half a step too late.
That's gonna happen.
Downhill.
That's gonna happen. You know what you didn't have?
And if you could do that to the 49ers defense, again, the score to me wasn't indicative of how the game was played. I think
it wasn't.
The Niners had that 6 penalties kind of just took them out of their rhythm. But we all know the 49ers, despite the score ended up being the way it did.
Yeah,
they deserve to be there.
Yeah. It wasn't. Yeah, correct. Yeah, it wasn't a fluke. Nothing about it was a fluke. Well,
yeah, and that is legit.
Well, that's the thing. Here's what you have, right? How do you stop the run pass option of the Eagles? You have sustained drives by Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs offense, something that you could not have given that you're on your injured third quarterback of your year.
All right. Once again, we got somebody here on the P program that's bringing up points that go beyond my comprehension here. Valid.
But Gully, who has they've played each other in October.
That's great.
And so that was a high-scoring affair, of course. So they both have learned something,
right?
But who else has Kansas City faced that you would have said gave them a similar look?
Nobody's giving them a similar look. When was that game on the schedule?
I think it was October either 2nd or the 21st.
Oh, okay, so it was during crunch time. It was when things were up or in question. Matter of fact, right. Was that the game that the Eagles played after they had lost to Minnesota?
No.
Yeah, they had met. Wait a minute, yeah. Did they meet Minnesota? Did they meet the Chiefs after they met Minnesota? Because right, Minnesota shocked them, right, and won, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. To your point, they might not have, right? You know, they may not have seen anything like it. And I would say, and also I will concede, they've only gotten better at what they're doing. They haven't lost anything. They haven't necessarily been exposed. The Eagles haven't. We could say that the Chiefs have.
Yeah, but is that because they're that good?
Is what because what they're who good?
The Eagles. What if they don't have any warts to expose?
Then the only thing, but you can listen. Unless you're the Baltimore Ravens, you're only scoring points when your offense is on the field. If the question would be,
so you don't think the Eagles defense can score?
No, I don't think the Eagles defense can outscore the Chiefs offense. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, of course not. Yeah,
no. Right. But no, and I'm not stating, I'm not making a dumb point there, but I'm making a legit point. The fact that what I'm saying is, like when you play the Chiefs, right? Okay, look at how successful Cincinnati has been largely with the Chiefs, right? Here's what they tend to do. Understanding that when Kansas City's got the ball, they're probably going to run up the score. They're probably going to score. You can count on points, typically. The best way to stop them is to sustain them. Long, sustained drives. So let's say...
You're talking about the Eagles should have long, sustained drives.
No. The Chiefs need to. Because you don't really have an answer. The Chiefs have to be able to keep that offense on ice. Okay,
so that's the old adage: keep him on the sidelines.
Yeah, you have to keep him on the sideline because you have to do them the same way you have to do the which is why it probably led to a high scoring affair in a sense, ironically. But what I mean by that is you're playing to keep the other offense off the field because they're dangerous. Mahomes can score at any time, no matter how much they might have struggled. You know, that's a game-winning drive. It's a game-saving drive, game-sustaining drive waiting to happen. So if you say, okay, cool, you know, Eagles win the toss or Chiefs win the toss, go ahead and defer to the second half. Let the Eagles get in. Let them see let's see what we can do. Let them drive down the field. Let them score. Okay. Once we take the ball over, we're not letting it go. We're getting 6.5, 7-minute drives. We're getting chunks of time.
But the Eagles had one too. The Eagles had a couple of them against the 49ers. They had
couple
like
of long.
They had like a 14-play drive.
I know was about a 14-play drive. And again, with all due respect, if Tom Brady was the 49ers quarterback last Sunday, we would have a different story or a different game outlook. At some point, the inexperience of Brock, is it Brock Purdy? Is that his name?
Yeah, that's right, Brock
At
Purdy.
some point, lacking your starting quarterback showed up. And it took to a conference championship for it to show up, which is good. That tells you how well built that team is. You can't go to your third string quarterback into a conference title game with the same amount of confidence or with the confidence that you're going to win. Yeah, with the 49ers, yes.
No, that was a fourth string guy.
That's what I'm saying. Right. No, he didn't start. But that's what I'm saying. He didn't even start the game.
Yeah, okay.
Right. So at some point you're going to have to account for that. And it just showed up. Now, this guy, between the two of them, what's his name? You know, he's been around a few teams for a while. But Brock Purdy, you've seen enough. You got a taste of it. So now you know what to do to build on. But that was going to show up. I don't think we had the same even game. Considering how well it was played, I don't think we had the same game if it was Jimmy G there. And I know Jimmy G's performance leaves something to be desired, even it has the starting quarterback. But I think if he was that guy, I think we get a different type of game, even if the Eagles win.
Yeah.
Okay. Patrick Mahomes and his ankle, you still got 2 weeks. You still got 2 weeks on that. And I'll be honest with you. I'm sorry. I think the rushing attack, I think the front line attack of the Bengals is a bit better than the Eagles. At least the front four. Hubbard was quite the disruptor.
And Rieger.
And Rieger, right. I think the front four at least is a bit more challenging than the Eagles front four. And you saw what Mahomes no, I'm saying, go ahead.
But the Chiefs can be had in that secondary. Devonta Smith and
that's a problem.
I mean,
that's a problem.
Brown, I mean, my goodness,
that's a problem. But again, that's where I say the name of the game
for the Joey Bosa for the Chiefs. Chris Ford,
yeah, or the Cleveland native or Clark. That's what.
Let me get to a couple of these comments right quick.
Good.
Doc weighing in, he's saying machines. He's talking about Mahomes. Mahomes' ability to extend the play will be something Philly struggles with.
Yes.
I don't know, man. I disagree. Even though Mahomes got 2 weeks, the ankle's gonna be a whole lot better 2 weeks later than it was 2 minutes ago. What happened to his ankle, man? That take a whole off season, really.
Well, they gotta win. Better. Yeah, but you gotta win already.
Doc said, rush all you want. It may be effective to the KC offense. No.
All right, you too. Thank you. All right.
If Mahoney isn't as dangerous outside the pocket as he is, the Eagles defense easily stops KC. Then he said again, Smith and Brown is one dangerous duo. Yeah. Oh, and don't forget about Sanders. Yeah. The Eagles.
Listen.
Okay.
All that being said, go ahead.
I'm gonna let you finish the statement, but just hold this question next. Who's the more balanced team between the two? But go ahead. What were you gonna say?
The more balanced team?
No. Say your first thing first, and then answer that one.
No, I'll answer that question.
Okay.
Considering the Eagles are the more balanced team, the Chiefs have seen this before, and I'm telling you, everything you suggested to me, the one thing you haven't thrown at me is, what do the Eagles have defensively that would totally
disrupt what the Chiefs do offensively? Bear with him as he gets his yep, we got technical difficulties. Double J, what is this you had thrown up on the you had thrown up on the screen and you were showing
It's
us?
the drive. It's the Chiefs in the first quarter, what they were doing.
Okay, wait a minute here.
They only had one drive.
Who only had one drive? The Chiefs? Where we at here?
Yep, there's only one drive here. A run, pass, run, incomplete, field goal. That was all they did in the first quarter.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. And what that really proves too is even though they would end with the time of possession in their favor, you're telling me that, you know, they can do things in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
And as you see here, they can eat up a lot of clock too.
Go to the Eagles. Can you pull up the Eagles?
Yeah. Yep.
Let's see what the Eagles look like.
1 second.
This is interesting.
Click these guys only because the next game.
So we're looking at a score of what? 7-5?
No. There's going to be way more points on the board than that.
Oh, I'm just saying. What's the over under so far?
I believe it was in the high 50s.
Oh, oh, so they thinking 42-41. Is that what they're thinking there?
51.
Yeah. Oh, 51, my bad. So they're thinking 25-23? 25 what?
It would be
26-25?
24-27.
I don't know, man. This is going to be a tough one. I think it's going to be a good game. My heart says the Eagles. My head says KC. Because even on that gimpy leg, man, Mahomes was doing some his improvisation, man. It's got to be the best I've seen at that position. Well, Mike Vick. I don't know. Would you take Mike Vick? Yeah, you'll take Mahomes. Would it be tough?
Let's see here.
Yeah, I want to see what this is the NFL. This is NFL.com.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they do. They take forever in a day. All drives. 13 plays. 2-yard pass, 6-yard run, sack. Yeah, see the Eagles, man, they can get. I don't know, man. Can one team do what the other cannot? Is that a better question?
Well, here's the thing. I would say running the ball, they're both about even. You know, that's not the truly the strong suit of either team. It's just how they go about it. Because again, you're seeing another drive, right? Their second drive, they punt the ball.
Yeah. Okay.
A 1-yard run, a 5-yard pass, and then a run for no gain. And so San Francisco's defense was, you know,
they were in it early.
Yeah. This is still,
they were in it.
They can't. And look at this next drive, -4 yards. Let's not kid ourselves that Philly's offense, that score is only because San Francisco couldn't do anything with the ball.
Yeah, no question. Yeah. I'm with you on that. Because there was one play where Josh Johnson went to his check down too early when he had can't think of the guy. The guy was wide open in the middle of the field. When the score was 7-7.
Right.
So who's to say? And McCaffrey was balling. Man, had you seen him do that? Well, we've seen him do that on more than one occasion. But yeah, McCaffrey was trying to win the game by himself. I don't know, man. We'll see.
Yeah, they were going for it on 4th and 1 at their own 34. If what there you can play the what ifs with at least if San Francisco had a healthy quarterback. And I'm not even saying the other guys. I'm just saying Brock Purdy. If he would have not gotten injured, this game is a lot closer because we're already in the middle of the second quarter. Do they still fumble? I don't think so.
You talking about on the Brock when Brock got it knocked out of his hand?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't think so either. Yeah, I don't think so either.
We could be seeing, it could be a completely different outcome at that point. Again, we won't know, and I know San Francisco fans have to chew on that for the rest of the next 8 months.
Yeah, sorry about that, Snowman. Shout out to Snowman. 49ers fans, number one man, Snowman. Yeah, Doc weighed it again. He said if Brock Purdy don't get injured, San Francisco may win. Yeah, I mean, because they were on the roll, man. They were on the roll. There was a cohesiveness they was playing complimentary football behind that guy. Matter of fact, here's a side note, sidebar. What happens with Trey Lance?
Well, before the injury, I would have said he would have been on his way out. Speaking of teams that don't invest a ton into the quarterback, remember they restructured the deal for Garoppolo so he could stay on the roster.
Yeah, right.
Obviously, that worked out for all because obviously there was still money to play with. But what Kyle Shanahan has proven is that he has a system, right? Brock Purdy doesn't get hurt and they go to the Super Bowl. This guy's treading Tom Brady waters.
Yeah, no question. You talking about? You mean just based on the strength he's Mr. Irrelevant and things of that nature?
Yeah, late round pick gets thrown in the midst of due to injury. All of a sudden starts winning. Takes the team to the Super Bowl and wins. He's doing this right.
Yeah, I'm with you, Doc. He got hurt, and it seemed like the drive and energy was non-existent. Yeah, it took the life out of him. They needed Nick Foles in that moment. To run the Philly special. He said, I say Purdy is the starter next year, and Lance comes off the bench. So then where's Jimmy G going?
Dallas.
Ugh. Yeah.
Carolina. He's going somewhere.
Ooh. Now that may And speaking of Carolina, I just find it interesting, man. The NFL at the back end of every end zone, they have this end racism. And then you look over to your left and you wonder how come Steve Wilkes is not still the coach of the Carolina Panthers. I'm just
do as I say, saying. Not as I do.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Doc said Oakland. Las Vegas, you mean? The Raid. Yeah, right, got you.
Oh, he's talking about, like just out of the league, the other side of the bridge.
Yeah, you mean
there you go. He said
he said Vegas. David Carr's out, you think?
Oh, he is out. He already put his thanks everybody.
He put his slip in, put his severance pack where he wanted severance pays into.
No, they told him he was done. You're done here.
Oh my.
Yeah, he put out his thank you to the fans and all that stuff.
Okay.
So
where you see him?
He is done.
Where you see him landing?
Vegas.
Possibly.
In a backup role. Or you risk going to a bad team. And again, Carolina needs a quarterback. What do the Saints do with Jameis Winston?
I was thinking that a couple of days ago, man, Winston that fell off the radar, but he might not.
The only time I see him is on a sideline doing the neck bone thing.
Oh, Doc said Carr is out and Rodgers with Jimmy G is in. Uh-oh.
Rodgers' contract is $50 million. The
Carolina
only place
or the
going
Saints
in is in Green Bay.
Where you say Carolina or the Saints, Doc? You talking about Carr going to Carolina? Or Rodgers or Jimmy G is going to Carolina or the Saints? Yeah, I want to hear. Ooh-wee. Yeah. Yeah.
Carr.
Yeah, Carr. I got you. Oh, he's saying, Carr.
Carr would do well. Look, the Saints have the core. They have Kamara. They have Olave. Mike Thomas needs to go. That guy
Prior
needs
to
to
the Saints
decide
of
if
Carolina.
can't believe he's still under contract. Like that would is probably eating away at their soul. Like I'm not mad at the guy getting the bag, but again, if you're looking at it purely from a fan standpoint,
Yeah.
and you know one dude who doesn't play is getting $20 million a year, and again doesn't play, he makes the NBA players look like I'll show you load management.
Yeah. Yeah, he took load management to a whole new level. He did. Yeah. Nah.
But it is what it is, and his Twitter handle still can't guard Mike.
Oh boy, unbelievable. Yeah, and on that note, yeah, we'll keep our eyes peeled on any developing stories of obviously leading up to the Super Bowl or whatnot. It is again, I'm picking the Eagles, even though I do want to just see a good game.
Oh, you're going with your heart.
I am. I mean, what else?
It will be good, regardless, because what Gully was pointing out is, I think it's a shame in some ways that the RPO would be the why behind a Philly win, because what we've just discussed, right, was his ability to make passes that very few can, and that's what the angle is there, that he opens it up. Yeah,
he plays the position very well.
But that defensive front is going to, again, Mahomes, that everyone will be, any Chiefs gambler or fan will be collectively holding their breath every time he gets wrapped up. Because if there's one thing you could count on with Ndamukong Suh is
it's going to be some extra.
He will Albert Hainsworth you real quick.
Yes, definitely. It's going to be some extracurricular down at the bottom of a pile, sort of kind of that type of thing. And you making
He's
a tackle.
Turn chiropractor.
Low. Yeah, exactly. You're rolling around. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Super Bowl 57, y'all. February 12th at whatever time and on whatever network. Who cares? Right? Yeah, we'll keep y'all posted.
The commercials are back.
Yeah, and on that note, I leave you without a quote today. It's been fun, but we got to run. Don't forget to check us out Wednesday.
I will say this. Wait a minute. I will leave you with a quote. It is from Penn State head coach Micah Shrewsbury.
Basketball?
That's right.
Okay. Men's, women's? I guess it don't matter. Basketball.
Well, yeah. So Micah Shrewsbury was a part of Brad Stevenson's staff with the Celtics.
Okay.
Here we go.
You talking about Butler, former Butler Brad Stevens?
Yeah.
Brad. Hey, Butler.
Here we go. Best team in the country, best player in the country, best coach in the country. That was his opening statement this evening at the conclusion of his 80-60 loss to Purdue.
I knew it.
Oh, hell no.
We sit there. See what I'm saying? Yeah, okay. This is exactly why we don't bring BYOB on this program. Oh my gosh! Again,
I just hope Do they even need to? Does Edie need the ladder to cut down the net?
No, he doesn't. He can cut the nets from the inside. He'll be. That's how. Gotcha. Yeah, it's been fun, but we got to run, y'all. Don't forget to check us out every Wednesday at 9 on the PM side right here on the Yard. Or y'all can check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the Shop's fan page. While you're at the Shop's fan page on Facebook, you can go there, maybe subscribe, like. I forget it's a blue button somewhere. Do 1, 2, 3, or one of the other things, but just follow the P program if you would. And of course, you can find us on YouTube, and make sure when you go to YouTube and you find us, you want to subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit the little bell, ding dong, notifications. That subscribe button is something like to call it. We'd be much obliged. And if that don't work, y'all can Google it. For my man's Be Rich, Double J, Doc TJ, D Gully, who showed up for a minute for us today, and all those who follow and support us. Before we get out of here, we got one more comment rolling in. It's probably Doc, my man. Who would it be? Oh, shout out, Doc. We appreciate that. Great show. Love, peace, and hair grease, fellas. Wow, really, and I'm bald-headed. This is unbelievable. This is the stuff I'm talking about. Oh, man. Unbelievable. Yeah, and all those who follow and support us.
No more baby oil.
Yeah, no, tea tree for me, baby. We say thank you. We mad love to all y'all out there, man. We appreciate y'all for real. Y'all just don't understand. I'm Barbershop Day, and you've been listening to the Shop Report. And remember, the next time y'all want to know what's really going on, come to the shop. Walk-ins are always welcome. Holla!